everybody. It's Annie Edgerton, the Wine Minx, here with you. I'm super excited to day drink with me and my special guest, Darron Cardosa, aka the BITCHY waiter.
Hello, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, fine and dandy.
Cheers. So Darron and I are drinking Albarino. This one's mine. That one's yours. Let me actually catch up. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, is this your first time with Albarino?
It is, because I never would have picked this off of the menu because I didn't know what it was. So as you told me last time, I like Sauvignon Blanc, and so you advised me that I would like this. So yeah, this is my first time to taste it.
Well, folks, if you're just starting with us, we always got to do a little wine minxy thing. So swirly twirl first. Now sniffy sniff. And what kind of notes are you getting?
I get some melon.
Yes.
A little, yeah, definitely some citrusy, which is what I love when I'm drinking wine. So
yeah, and I get some kind of florals. I always call it like orange blossom. All right, so cheers. Let's taste it. Yeah. Did it taste like what you thought it was going to taste like?
A little bit. I mean, yeah, pretty much. And it's a little tart, and I love tart, so it's perfect for me. Like, I think a lot of people would drink this, and maybe because I know a lot of people like sweeter wines and things. I like a really sour taste. So this is perfect for me. I'm excited because the next time I go to a restaurant and I see Albarino on the menu, I won't just have to skip over it because I don't know what it is. Now I do.
So a little housekeeping. It is a white grape from mostly like Northwest Spain. It shares some citrus characteristics with Sauvignon Blanc, which is why I recommended it for you. But it does also have that real floral peachiness that Sauvignon Blanc doesn't have.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's people who you like the tart acid of the wine, but this might have a little bit of a rounder fruit. So people who want something that they think is sweeter, might be okay with it because the fruit's a little riper and not as linear and citrusy.
Oh, yeah, it does taste like. I know when we had the discussion last time about the Sauvignon Blanc, like there is that feeling like it's a piece of fruit that's just right about to go bad, but it's not bad. So it's a little more like, not pungent is a bad word, but you know what I mean? Like it's just like right there on the cusp, and it's rich and delicious.
Yes, I actually like pungent, and I like funk a lot.
Yeah.
If you watch my videos, you know I like funk. I always like.
I shaved today. I put product in my hair. I pulled my right out. It's like a banner day over here in Korea.
I'm enjoying these videos, these live streams for the same reason, because I totally did a full beat. I've got a cute little dress on.
I know. And look, we're color coordinated. And remember the last time we did it, we were color coordinated. I was wearing pink, and there was a lot of pink and orange. And today we both got our purple hues.
Yes, very nice. Darron was one of my wonderful guests on Broadway Buzzed. So if you haven't checked out Broadway Buzzed on YouTube, go do it. And go look at Sauvignon BITCHY.
That's right.
It's hard to be a server when there's no restaurants.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I mean, all I've been doing for the last 10 years as BITCHY waiter is creating content based on working at a restaurant. And now I'm having to come up with all of this other content that's still relevant and hopefully funny, but I have all the time in the world to do it. So it's been kind of fun. So I just been kind of making a play on like servers going crazy, not having anything to do, or staying in shape by lifting trays and pouring water.
And I love that it came when the water glass was like this full, and he just put that little extra bit on the top.
I'm a pro.
So you obviously have been out of work now since, what, month and a half or so?
My restaurant is still open, but I'm not working there. He's just doing to go and take out like 3 days a week. And so it's just, I work in a very small privately owned restaurant. It's just my boss. He owns the restaurant. So he has his son, I think is like 16. He's coming in and ringing in the orders and bagging them up. So I haven't been there in forever now, like 6 weeks, 5 weeks. But I walk past it when I walk my dog and wave. They're in there. But it is hard to connect, and you try to find ways. And I was trying to think of something, like people in our building. We live in a 60-unit building, and so since this has gone down, we go for days without seeing anybody. Even though we go out 3 times a day to walk the dog, we don't see anyone. So I was thinking of trying to figure out, like, could I do like a chain letter or something that I started in the lobby, just of like notes, like slide this under 2 people's doors, and then they have to slide it just so people can know that you're thinking of them. Or I thought about buying like a dozen worth of daisies and putting them in the lobby and just saying, take one, so that you can know anything, so that we can still remind each other that we're all still here, even though we're not seeing each other. But
yeah,
I think that's a
lovely idea, though, to have that sentiment, because another thing I was going to ask you is what do you think is going to come out of this situation? Are we just going to go back to normal in 2 weeks after it's all said and done, or what do you think is going to be different?
Mark and I have talked about this a lot, and we both feel, and a lot of people I've talked to feel the same, that I think there's going to be a renaissance of appreciation for simple things, like going out to eat in a restaurant. People are going to love it again. But just reconnecting with people like us, you and I, talking face to face. We've always had this option to do this, but we never do. And I've done it with so many of my friends now, and I've been writing letters, and Mark and I are playing board games, and all of these little simple things. So I hope that people are going to take from this just an appreciation of friendship and connections, and not take advantage of it.
Yeah, and maybe slowing down, like you said too, the simpler things.
Yeah.
It's not all about like, what level of Candy Crush am I on?
Exactly.
It's about engaging. One of the things I like to ask is like, what's the best part of your day? And I love that you said cheering for the workers at 7 is the best part of your day. What's something that you're like, this thing though, I don't care, like that you're so sick of?
It's the masks. It's like,
mostly because you're wearing.
So tired of wearing. Yeah, and like I said, we walk the dog, and the middle walk that my husband is on now, it's like a 45-minute walk, and when it's a nice day, it can be a really pleasurable thing. But when it's 45 minutes and you've got a mask on, and you don't feel comfortable talking on the phone because the people can't hear you through your mask, and your glasses are fogged up, it's tedious and it's annoying. On the other hand, I'm just lucky that I'm not sick, so I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about wearing a mask. But that is the thing that I am most tired of, but it's petty compared to what other people are dealing with. So one day I feel like very positive, and then one day, like yesterday, was kind of gray and rainy, and it was it was a difficult day to get through. I was appreciating you today just because. Usually I don't drink until at least 5:30 or 6, but today you let me drink at 3. So,
well, I always say in my programming that I encourage responsible consumption of alcohol, but sometimes during a pandemic, it's responsible to drink in the day. And that was the thing when we came up with the idea to do the day drinking. I'm like, I know that there's 1 or 2 or more days a week when some people are like, screw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I need to. And it's okay.
It is.
It's okay. You just have to, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's right. I mean, the standards for what we need to get done in a day have changed drastically in the last 6 weeks. So, some days I'm like, I did laundry and I wrote a letter today. I am the most productive person in the world.
Wait, hi, Mom. Mom is back.
Hello.
I'm in their bedroom, so I was like, I'm live streaming from your bedroom because it's the only place I can. And Mom's like, okay, but I have to get something.
Come on in.
Sorry. But, Mom, you want some wine? You want some wine?
Not right now, thank you.
Not right now. All right. Let me let her get by.
I'm going to my bourbon.
Oh, the truth comes out.
How is that Albarino treating you now?
It's delicious.
Has it evolved at all in the glass?
It doesn't taste as I think when I first tasted it, I thought it tasted a little sour, in a good way, or tart, I think is what I said. But I don't feel that anymore. Now
smoothing out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, I have a question for you.
Okay.
We were watching, do you watch Top Chef?
Yes, but I haven't seen it recently.
Okay, no spoilers, but we were watching last night, and they all had to make a dish that was based on a taste, a flavor profile. So it was sweet, salty, bitter, sour,
umami.
And umami. I'd never heard of it.
Oh,
neither one of us had heard of it. We're like, what is umami? We both thought it was like a bean or something. We're like, what? So I Googled it, and yeah, it's like a savory, like they said, like an avocado would taste umami.
Yeah, I always think of it as like mushroom soy sauce.
Yeah, we could not figure it out because they were having to combine these flavor profiles like sweet and sour, bitter and sweet, and umami. We're like, what is umami? So I just didn't know what that was until last night. Did not know. It's just one of the 5 tastes.
5 tastes. Well, I always say when I'm teaching my wine classes, I always talk about the tongue map from elementary school. You remember?
Yeah.
So, and it was sweet, salty, bitter, sour originally, but then they added umami recently. So I don't know how we do the tongue map anymore. Yeah. But you remember in elementary school that you look at the tongue map and you'd actually put like some sugar and you try it here and you try it there and you try it in all the different places and see how it changed. So we as human beings only taste those 5 things.
Yeah.
So when I talk about wine, when you're like, oh, there's peach in here or florals, we don't actually taste peach. We taste the sweetness, the ripeness,
right?
And the aroma molecules go up into the brain and tell our brain that it's. I'm trying to avoid using big words, but I'm just going to use the big word. The olfactory epithelium is this thing like right behind your nose, and it's like the size of a dime with little nurdles on it. And so the aroma molecule comes up and gets stuck in there, and that tells the brain, oh, peach. This sweet thing is peach. This bitter thing is citrus rind. This salty thing is like ocean spray. This umami thing is like meat,
Is there a wine that would have that kind of flavor profile at all?
There are wines that I've described as like sanguine, like a bloody steak.
Mm-hmm.
There have been savory things like herbs or smoke. To me is savory, even though that comes from something else. But there are elements in wine that aren't just fruit and flowers and blah, 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 that can be more savory. So yeah, I mean, Gruner Veltliner, I had one the other day, last night actually, and Gruner characteristically has notes of white pepper and sometimes celery. So very savory. Do you have any more like projects, like another book in the works? Are you still blogging too, besides creating all your videos and stuff?
I don't blog as often as I used to. I feel like I've been doing it for 11 years. I kind of have hit a wall on what I can blog about for the restaurant industry. Okay. Yeah, so I just drink a lot now. I did start working on a second book, and it's called 108 Jobs and Counting. And it's, I've kept a daily journal every day since 1983. So I read all of my journals, and I wrote down every job I ever had, the day I started and the day I quit. And I also counted shows that I actually got paid for, like a show. Right. And so it ended up being 108 different jobs. So then I started to write blog posts or stories about each one, and I wanted it to connect. And the overall theme of it is that you don't know where your life is going to take you. And by the time I got to the 108th job, the 109th job was going to be like, I wrote this book, but I couldn't have written this book without 108 jobs before it. So I still think it's a book that could happen, and I've got 30,000 words of it written. It's never too late to find your next job or your next passion or what you want to do with your life. And that's what I want this book to be about.
I have also been writing a book for over 10 years.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be like a slim volumed intro to wine. And it was called All You Really Need to Know About Wine. Mm-hmm. Because I just heard the same things over and over. Every wine class I teach, I hear that people have the exact same questions. So I could give it to you in a very slim volume. Every couple of years, like trash it and start all over and pick it apart and pull it apart and try to whatever. And then just right before quarantine, I had to smack myself in the head. Now, other stuff I was doing up to this point laid the groundwork, but I just threw it all out and started all over. And I'm so excited about what it is. And it's just basically 365 days of wine and wisdom. So it's kind of like a journal, but every day you learn something about a grape variety or a region, or you hear some philosophy from me about wine and how it works with your life. But even when I'm talking about a grape variety, for example, I compare Riesling to James Bond. And I compare Muscadet to you summering on the beach when you're 10.
Well, this is a perfect book idea.
I think so. But I just want to thank you so much for taking some time and day drinking with me today.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers to you and to everybody who's watching now or who will watch this later. I wish all of you, as always, to stay safe and sane and healthy and happy. And if you need wine to do that, then I can help you pick one that you like.
She helped me pick this one, and it's delicious. So.
Yay. Oh, well, I'm so glad you liked Albarino. Everybody check out BITCHY WAITER on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You will absolutely love all of his stuff. It's hysterical. And I hope that you get back in and with the annoying customers very soon.
Me too. Enjoy. Have a good trip back to New York tomorrow. And I can't wait for you to get to applaud at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
I can't wait so too. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Darren. Bye.